Hey everyone, how we doing? I say everyone, I just saw one person popped in.
Good evening.
How's everyone doing tonight? One. How's one doing tonight? Let's see. We got a decent amount of stuff to go over here tonight.
Before we get started and Tyler gets organized, if you haven't checked out our 2 interviews that we had in the last week, we had our interview with J.M. Brandt from Swamp Dog Writer. He was fun and courteous and was awesome, and we actually had quite a long interview with him, about an hour or so. And we had
an hour
about that, yeah. And then we had also managed to have Brian Bucciolato in. I said it right this time. And of course, he was the writing for Chicken Devil. I didn't say chicken dog. I said chicken dog this afternoon.
Did you?
To Joel. So yeah, and those guys were kind enough to give us interviews. They're both great. They're up on the channel if you want to see them. So please share, like. They're fun. We have I don't know if I have a weird style of interviewing, but I have a fun. It's kind of.
I'd call it erratic.
I call it shotgun.
Yeah. Well, let's get it just about ready. Thanks to all our friends too. I believe. Is there an episode of Tags this week? I think it was last weekend, so there shouldn't be because they're away.
They are at C2E2 this weekend, but they might have some kind of last-minute impromptu thing on Saturday evening because they do have some access to some artists. But
I know Hugh's there. I know Anna's there.
Yeah,
but they haven't said anything yet. They might be too busy. The guy that runs it's actually set up and working there that weekend, so it might be a little bit busy for him to set up. Who knows?
Yeah, working for Aftershock.
Big Country, our friends at Big Country, they just put up a whole bunch of stuff. Last Ronin 5s, if you haven't gotten those, Justin just got the okay to start using CGC as well as CBCS. So he's got some Mike Ruth, was it Last Ronin 5s? He's got 2 different covers.
One's from Yellow Snow.
Yeah. And so if you want either of those signed and remarked, he's got those up on his page right now.
I also saw Mike had him up on his page too, just regular copies as well. It just popped up as well. So if you don't want to pay the more expensive price for the slabbed ones that Justin has, Mike has them as well too.
And how about 204?
Mike Ruth, we should say, so people know who we're looking at.
Yeah,
Mike
our buddy Mike.
Yeah.
And then 204 Comics, Ashley and Bobby over at 204 Comics. You've been buying a lot there recently, getting
actually
omnibuses.
Yeah, if you don't mind just holding the fort for a sec, I want to grab that and show them something like that.
Yeah, grab a couple of them because people will get an idea of how good the deal is.
Talk about the pull list.
Yeah, don't unplug the computer this time.
Yeah.
204 Comics. I feel like everyone knows 204 by now, and their pull lists, right? I feel like most people that watch the show probably have a pull list or probably familiar with their pull lists, but it's 3 recurring titles, and you get American pricing plus 10% off of that. And when they do sales, you get even more percentage off of that too. So that's pretty wicked. Some of the stuff he's bringing down right now is from some sales, but also just really good pricing. And if I'm not mistaken, we got this Wolverine, which is... Yeah, so it's 127 Canadian, but
100 American.
At Ashley's, you pay American pricing for most stuff, so it was 100 American plus
minus 25%.
Was it 25 or 15?
It was $75 for that.
Wow, so even 25%. So that's crazy, and it's a big book. I don't know how many issues it compiles. It's got pretty much everything
Wolverine.
Yeah,
has his the original 2 in the Hulk, has his limited series, has his full series.
It's a thick book.
And this one too. I've never read the Invincible stuff. Again, another huge omnibus. I think there's 50 issues it said in here, Tyler said.
47.
47?
Well, 48. 0 to 47, yeah.
So 48 issues, again, all in color. And this was $65, and then with all the discounts and stuff like that, I think it ended up being like $45. So I mean, that is an amazing deal.
Yeah.
You know,
Good stuff for Christmas coming up, and
Yeah.
even just for your own personal collection.
Yeah, for sure. I remember I didn't really was or not. Oh, geez, no English there. I wasn't really a fond guy of having still no English there. I wasn't one for buying
He
omnibuses
didn't like the
before,
omnibuses.
but now
Is
that now that I see what they are, and I've picked up a couple used ones lately too from my friend C Barley. There, I got the
shout
complete.
out to CE.
Yeah.
He didn't get anything this week.
No, but it was that whole collected work of Werewolf by Night.
Yeah,
And
that is a huge book.
yeah, huge like this, bigger. It's like
Bigger
more like
than that.
this. And then
Oh
there's
my.
the couple X-Men books and Evolution. Well, I had the
Well, and
Evolutionary War already.
there's a whole bunch of Spider-Man Volume 1, X-Men, Thor, Hulk.
Oh, and then there was the Star Wars
and,
one. It was all the collected works of droids and Ewoks.
well, those 4 I'm talking about, those
Yeah.
are coming out next year, so you can pre-order those still.
I
And
pre-ordered
they all
Moon
have
Knight.
really nice Alex Ross art
Yeah.
for the splash
Yeah,
page.
I pre-ordered the Moon Knight. Oh, and I got that from the first thing I bought from C was that whole collected work of Boone, which is like Bone. Boone. All right.
You'll get there.
Yeah.
And that's it for this stuff. No more house. Oh, gee, it says took away the camera, not the logos. There we go. So let's get started. First book up is a book I was pleasantly surprised with for crossovers, and that's Marvel Event Devil's Reign. And I enjoyed this. I said it almost reminded me of the Marvel Knights, how it seemed a lot more street level than it did big, huge, globe-trotting adventure.
Well, it involves all the street level heroes.
And that's probably why it feels that way. You got your Daredevil, your Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Spider-Man.
This story starting
two
off.
Spider-Man.
Yes, this story. Yeah, I like how they have Ben Riley in here. This story starts off in New York. For the last little while, the Kingpin, Wilson Fisk, has been the mayor, and this story actually continues right on from the end of the Daredevil run, which was again written by Chip Zdarsky and Marco Cicchetto with artwork, and that's who's doing it on here as well. So this is almost, because it has all the other heroes in it, they're calling it a crossover event with the Devil's Reign, but it's actually just a Daredevil story. Yeah. And what it is Daredevil, everybody knew Daredevil's identity. And for one reason or another, you guys can, if you want to find out, you can look into it. His identity is hidden from the world. So nobody knows about it. If you see it written down somewhere, you can't read it. It just doesn't make sense to you. So the Kingpin gets married, and he goes to for a honeymoon, and he starts going through some old files, and he finds a file that has Matt Murdock's identity, he has Daredevil's identity. And he remembers putting this together and stuff like that because he does it for all his enemies. But when he opens it up, he can't read the writing inside. It's all blurry and stuff like that, and you can't remember it.
He said it's just blank pages or something on it. He doesn't know because if he looks at it, he sees nothing.
Yeah, it's like indecipherable. So he kind of figures out that somebody's been screwing with his mind, and he doesn't like that. So this is kind of he kind of loses it. This kind of sets loose his inner rage for all these, especially for Murdock. Daredevil and all the other vigilantes and superheroes, and he, being mayor, sets up a No Heroes Act, kind of like the Registration Act, but even more so.
One's just no heroes,
just no heroes,
powered
yeah.
people.
So the government and the cops and everything, the city are all against the heroes, and he starts tracking them all down, and some of them get arrested. Like Moon Knight gets taken out, and some of the Fantastic Four get arrested and stuff, and that's where it kind of ends, where everything's all chaos, and some of the heroes are kind of trying to figure it out. But at the same time, too, they have formed, the Kingpin's formed his version of a Thunderbolts team.
Well, I think it's the new Thunderbolts.
Yeah. And what it is villains and whatnot, and I guess for bad guys, people who want to work within them.
Doc Ock looked great. That's one of the best illustrated Doc Ocks I've seen in quite a long time.
Yeah, all the villains in there look really good. Rhino looked good
awesome
too. So then,
Shocker. I think Shocker, he looked like he had some original, Iron Man, classic.
But then he still got beat, so.
Well, just the way his helmet was shaped, it looked like it was repainted.
So that's what it is. It's basically, you got, Wilson Fisk controlling the villains and some heroes, depending on whose side they want to be on, going after all the heroes. And it looks good. It's like Civil War, but more darker and dirtier because it's not heroes against heroes. It's I don't know, the Kingpin.
Yeah. I know it's supposed to be a big crossover event, and I probably won't pay too much attention to it unless it's in the direct, Amazing Spider-Man tie-in, where it is, in one of the issues.
Right.
I think it would have been fine just on its own as well. It seems like it's able to hold its own just the characters that they've brought in.
I like how they do like focus on like it actually part of continuity. Like it's actually has all the real things that are going on in people's lives. Like it has real Ben Reilly, has modern Miles, and all that too. So
next up, it must be a rain cloud above comics this week. It's lots of rain. Is Star Wars Crimson Reign, and this is another one that is actually really good.
Yeah, I like this one.
I was getting really tired, and as we all know, I love the Star Wars stuff, but I was getting really tired of the War of the Bounty Hunters storyline. So it's nice to see things spinning out of it finally, because it was just becoming super long and drawn out.
It was boring. I thought it was going to be a lot more things
like the Vader Down series. Well, that one was good.
Not even that. It just it said War of the Bounty Hunters, and there wasn't much warring going on. It was kind of like it was more like posturing of the bounty hunters. Like,
yeah, you're waiting for shit to hit the fan, and eventually, when it kind of did, it was all in one issue.
Yeah, it's boring.
So,
but this is starting off good. You still got Charles Soule doing the art, and Stephen Cummings, doing the writing, and Stephen Cummings doing the art, and as per all Star Wars books, the art's really good.
Yeah.
I liked it. You got the Crimson Reign is here. The group starts a goal of revenge against the Emperor by, pretty much taking everyone, turning everyone against everyone.
Yeah.
It's a smart play. So what they're doing is, instead of trying to get everybody to join up with them to turn on the Emperor and that, they're trying to get everybody to, they're kind of double playing everybody to.
They just want chaos for chaos' sake to throw the Empire off.
Yeah, everybody fights amongst each other and just disrupts the Emperor and that. So they're not really trying to do a power grab. They just want to have chaos and revenge against all these people who have wronged them. And you see the real. I don't know if they call themselves the Crimson Ring or not.
The Crimson Dawn.
Yeah, the Crimson Dawn. And you see it's quite a large team, and some are new people, and some are people you've seen in the last few issues.
You have the Knights of Ren, Uchiha Bestoon, the guy that's been working with Vader since his new series started up.
That Death Stick.
Death Stick, yeah, that's another one.
I just had her name in my head. I can't remember. Doesn't matter.
But yeah, it's a whole bunch of people. I think it looks good. They've got a solid team, like you said, put together. And I like that it's not a power grab. What's really nice is they're dealing with another crime syndicate, and they're called the Black Order. I don't remember entirely.
Black Order is Thanos.
Oh, yeah, that's Thanos. It's Black something.
I thought it was the Black Coruscant or something like that.
Doesn't matter. And they are of the same alien race as a character from old Legends Star Wars comics. And we had seen these characters pop up a few times throughout stuff, but they actually name drop this character who's the leader of that crime syndicate. It's like Prince Shizor.
And they mentioned and show like Darth Maul a lot too.
Well, yeah, and if anyone that saw Solo automatically, they know who this Kira character is, and they know she was trained by Darth Maul after that movie, before all this.
Yeah.
So lots of interweaving in this issue, and that's what I like when it comes to Star Wars stuff, is nice interwoven, intermeshed stuff, which works nicely because as much as I like that they're going in a different direction with Star Wars stuff from what they had been this year, I did want to cover some stuff that's not Crimson Dawn related. So I did add just Star Wars number 19 as well.
Again by Charles Soule. Yep. This one has Marco Castellio doing the art. But again, still great art. This is I didn't realize that was cover A. That's a boring cover, man.
It is. I thought the 1 in 25 was cover B, and I had that, but no, it was a 1 in 25.
No. Your Ewok one's even better than that.
Which Ewok one?
The Ewok action figure
cover.
Oh,
yeah, I'll pull that out. I love the Ewoks, not the Ewoks. I love the Ewoks,
No, I don't.
but I love the Star Wars action figure covers, and I've got all of them.
JTC.
So this month is Lumat. Yeah, I always show these off when I
John
get them.
Tyler Christopher.
Anyway, the reason I wanted to talk about this issue is Luke is back on his journey to sort of become a Jedi. The last time he did any of this, he came up and he got the yellow lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
He knows that he's not ready to fight Vader, and he's finally trying to continue, and he's not getting quite as sidetracked. One of the biggest things, and I was talking about things being interwoven and intermeshed, is some really big tie-ins to other Star Wars stuff. And I have them up on screen now. The top panels there are from a planet called Ilum, which canonically is where they get their lightsaber crystals. And it had been fairly well rumored that this planet eventually becomes Starkiller Base from the newer movies.
Oh yeah.
And you can see it
Yeah.
is. They're carving it out.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. I thought that was a cool shot, and I wanted to bring attention to that because it might be something people miss. And then the lower panels there is on a planet called Lothal, which, and I know you won't get this, and I'm sure a bunch of other people won't because it wasn't a very well watched show like Clone Wars, but it's Star Wars Rebels. That's the planet they're on most of the time, and that's where like an ancient Jedi temple that they frequented is.
Well, I know
And
there's a
they
temple
say
there, but
it's locked, and
yeah.
that's because it was destroyed, and sort of Vader used some kind of dark force thing to almost destroy it, cut its connection with the Force. So, yeah, I thought that in itself was interesting just to cover because, like I said, they're getting back into what Star Wars is really nice.
Yeah, like you said, Luke's gone off looking for more Jedi artifacts and answers, and he finds one at one of the temples and stuff. But he finds a hollow disc, and it ends up being Yoda on it. So you can kind of see it's Yoda sending him an invitation to come see him to, train in that. And to me, that's one of the best parts of the Star Wars stuff is when
I think it's an old holocron of Yoda.
it still asks him to go and study with him and stuff, so it's kind of weird. But I mean,
yeah, because he's already met Yoda at this point.
Yeah, so
yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So
but yeah, that's a lot of Star Wars this week. But I thought both books were really good and highlighted a really nice future and a new year coming for Star Wars.
Well, it was nice. It was nice change compared to the how the War of the Bounty Hunters kind of fizzled out.
Yeah. And next up is Batman. But it is the new team working on Batman. The new writing team, I should say.
And art team.
Is it? Oh, new art team as well.
Yeah, because remember I said the art is Jorge Molina now. Yeah, and it's gorgeous art. Jorge Molina has become. I say this every week about somebody, but another one of my favorites over the last few years. So.
And it's all right to have multiple favorites. These are all the new generation of people, right?
Yeah.
People have all their favorites from the 70s, 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
And these are all, the new up-and-comers, I guess. The new staples. Yeah, and you're right. The art is really nice in this. There's some really nice panels.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much wide shots, but like long shots you get of Batman. Or just, there's some, you see Batman even lurking in the background. It's just really nice attention to detail. And much like what we say with the Star Wars comics, there's a bit of a lifelike quality to some of it.
Yeah.
Like just the way it's drawn. And I think the story, I wasn't reading too much of the mainline Batman stuff. So this is the first continuation now without Tynion.
Yeah, Tynion's out and Joshua Williamson is in. And Joshua Williamson is a good writer in his own right. He's had multiple good storylines over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Even the last few years. So what it is Gotham has survived Fear State and the Joker War before that, and is celebrating. Some members of the former Batman Inc. have killed somebody or murdered somebody, and Batman is gonna heads over to Europe and that to check out and see what's going on. And while he's over there, they encounter a new villain called Abyss. Which I thought was kind of a silly name at first. That just sounds like almost like a wrestling or a 90s name type of thing.
I thought they looked familiar for some reason.
But no, it's a new character and it seems pretty cool, at least the lead into him so far. And yeah, I like the artwork. Everyone seems to be kind of starting off in a decent place for no, all the ends have kind of tied up since the last of the Tinian stuff. So we'll see where it goes. Um, yeah, I like Joshua Williamson and I like Batman, so hopefully it doesn't get compared too much to the Tinian stuff because there'll be different
No.
stuff, I'm sure. But it's cool. I liked it so far.
Yeah, it's not a groundbreaking book or anything, and I think one of the reasons we wanted to cover it is just to maybe reassure people that coming off of Tinian's run,
Hmm.
that it is actually still really good, and I think this team will handle it really well. They've
Yeah,
put together a good team.
I agree.
And next up is another Batman book. We got
I don't know.
lots of doubles.
I don't know how long this team is going to be like together on this book though. For
Probably a couple years.
no, I don't know though. I think
Tinian was for a while.
yeah, but that doesn't mean nothing.
No.
I think it might be even. I think I heard it, and it could totally be wrong, but I think I heard it might even only be like a 6-month run
Really?
or a 6-issue run. Yeah,
Oh.
but we'll see. I don't know.
Well, that's like this next one is just a 6-issue series.
Hmm.
We're on number 4 now, Batman '89.
I enjoy this book. It's a nice little different story of Batman, but it's not what it started out to be. It's supposed to be like
It's very different, and I
a
even said after I read
continuation.
it today,
Yeah,
it's every issue is feeling less and less like the Keaton and Tim Burton universe, which again, it's not a bad thing. It's still a good read. I find in this one, Harvey Dent is sort of becoming more the Two-Face persona, and he's escaped the hospital, and
he looks really good.
that's what I was gonna say. He looks really good, and it took me just a moment because I was looking at it, I thought his face looked weird, and he's got still the mustache, but
Mhm.
one side of it is white, so he's still got Billy D's mustache. I thought
Yeah,
that was kind of funny.
yeah. You got Joe Quinos doing the art in there, and I'm still liking that. And I like Sam Hamm doing the writing. And
The
like I said,
one thing I've got to say with the writing though is Two Face's whole story they have going on reminds me a whole lot of Doc Ock and Spider-Man 2.
Mhm.
How he's essentially trying to do the same thing, just very radicalized.
Yeah,
And even his lair that he has is old, run down,
yeah.
train station in this, but Spider-Man was
I like
a
I
dock.
like the Robin they have here. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be the Damon Wayans Robin, which is a black Robin. But I mean, you look at the cover there. Can you tell that's a black Robin? No, you can't. That looks it
You can
looks like
kind
a.
of see it, but who cares?
But I'm just saying it. That's a little. I thought that was kind of strange. But yeah, I'm liking it. It's just not what it's. No, they said or no, advertised it to be. It started off to be. So, Superman 78 is being exactly what they said it was going to
Yeah,
be and
for
being very
maintaining
successful of it.
continuity, I would
But I
say.
mean, this is not as good. I mean, it's enjoyable. It's just not what it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Our next book is called Buckhead, and it's from Boombox. And I don't have a Boombox tag, so I just put Boom up there for it. But it's
Yeah,
from Boombox.
which is their younger reader.
It's their
imprint.
younger readers, yeah. And it's I didn't think it was terrible, but there are some really good books this week, and this one stacking up to those wasn't the best. So for me, this one is our book of the week.
Ooh, I never thought of the book of the week.
Yeah. And not because it's a bad story, it's just stacked up with everything else. This one didn't quite make it. The
Okay.
art felt a little bit weird. I don't know if it's a bunch of newer people to the scene.
Well, I've never heard the writers. The writer's name is Shobo, and the artist is George Cambadias. And again, I'm not familiar with either of them, but that doesn't mean anything. It's not bad art. It's just again a little, I don't know, little soft. And the story's okay.
It's not bad art. Like I was saying
Yeah.
as I read it, it's just
What
something off about it. And
Yeah.
sometimes it just looks weird.
What this book kind of gives me a feel for, and again because it is geared for younger readers, kind of gives me like a Stranger Things feel to it a little bit. Kind of meets like the glitch, or not the glitch, the Matrix and stuff like that a little bit, because it has like these computer game
I
glitches
think it's
stuff.
even like the newer Jumanjis.
Or that too, kind of, yeah. And what it is you got a kid named Toba, and he's moved to a new town, and he's met a few friends at school, and he's also noticed a few strange things about this town. He, most people have a weird neck tattoo on them, and he's noticed that. And sometimes he'll see things like out of the corner of his eye, or even straight on, and interact with things that other people can't see, or like he can see it, or if you reach past it, it's like it's invisible. So it's almost like it's like some of the town's like a computer simulation. And it also seems like that these tattoos on these people's necks are maybe kind of like how people have been like controlled type of thing. Towards the end of his book, it looks like his mom is involved in this somehow. But it looks like then she also at the same time kind of gets kidnapped by these weird like men in black faceless dudes. So, got a little bit of like sort of Stranger Things mystery thing going on. Like Matrix computer style kind of thrown there too. But yeah, I checked it out because I like Boom. But I don't think I'll follow up on this. It is made for a younger reader, and
It's not often they do a book for a boombox, so they're worth checking out every so often because there have been good ones. Was that Mamo? I think that was a boombox one, wasn't it?
Yeah, I
And
love
that
that
one was
series.
all right.
Yeah, I love that series actually. That's gonna go on my list probably. Like
I could see that.
We're gonna put together. We were just talking this afternoon that because it is the end of the year and it's end of our hopefully our end of our first of many years. We're gonna put together like a end of the year episode. So we're gonna sit around and do like a little Christmassy episode and just kind of reminisce about the year so far because it's only been less than a year for us and we feel like we've achieved a lot and share some memories and Marchish, yeah.
And the show since June or July.
June, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue on. We're being really like slow in this.
I know.
Tonight,
we're dragging.
Yep.
Next up is AWA Upshot's Crimson Cage, and this one it's a '80s wrestler in Louisiana, and he's not in his '80s. It's from the 1980s.
Yeah, it's '80s wrestling, '80s pro wrestling in Louisiana, but told it's a retelling of Macbeth.
Yeah, and that's what I was about to say. Is I was getting a lot, and it wasn't until you had mentioned that I definitely saw that.
It's totally blatant.
C just mentioned my fresh haircut, and I think that's the third time today that someone has said that, and I don't have a haircut. I just shaved.
Yeah, I said the same thing too. It's like people keep saying that, and we cut your hair a long time ago.
Yeah, so that made me laugh. Taz said it.
Yeah,
Mom had mentioned it.
This book, I wanted to really read this book for a while. I'm a wrestling fan. Always have been, and I'm also a Shakespeare fan. I always like reading
Macbeth is one of the best.
Well, for sure. And so I wanted to read this, and me and Tyler always have enjoyed most of the time. I think we've enjoyed almost every one of them.
Yeah.
But we really like the AW Upshot stuff.
And I've liked the last couple we've done because they haven't resembled any specific actor or actress, and because that kind of pulls me out of it. I've noticed with AWA.
Me knowing '80s wrestling, and that some of the wrestlers in here do kind of.
They do. They pay homage, like and
that one guy kind of looks and acts like Ric Flair.
Oh, Ric Flair, yeah,
like
yeah,
Ric
that's
Flair.
Definitely Ric Flair. Yeah. He said brother a lot. That's what made me think Hogan, but he does look a lot like Ric Flair.
Ric Flair. Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. It's about a guy who's I won't say it's a small time, but he's not in the big times in Louisiana, and he wants to try to get into the big bigger markets and stuff like that, and hasn't made the jump yet, and he kind of gets kicked around like life a little bit, and everyone's telling him to do this and do that, and no matter what he does, he always seems to get screwed over in that. So if anyone's familiar with Macbeth, you'll like this, or if you're a wrestling fan, you'll like this. So I would check it out. This is, like I said, there was 2 books this week that were my strongest ones of the week, and there was this one, and I don't know if you can guess what the other one was, but figure it out.
When we get to it, I will guess what it is. I think I know what it is, and I don't think it was one of mine.
Okay. No, I don't think it was for you as well.
Next up is a Dark Horse book. Yeah. And we're getting a decent amount of Dark Horse books. We didn't have them for quite a while, and they're starting to release good ones.
So lots of Image lately too.
Yeah, and this is Daisy, and I enjoyed this one.
I did too.
But I can't say I fully understand what's going on. It kind of seems something in the vein of what we've been reading with Parasomnia or May's book. And I can't tell if the story they're telling is real or had happened or is a legend and these people are just very resemblant of them. But yeah, you can do a quick recap of it, and that might explain my thinking better.
You got Colin Lorimer, I should say, who does
Lormir?
Lorimer. He does the writing and the artwork on here. So I always think that in itself was quite an accomplishment because
It was really, really good artwork.
yeah,
for sure.
I enjoyed the artwork on there. So Daisy is a teenage girl, but she's 8.5 feet tall. And on the cover there, they make her look like big and strong and stuff. But in the story, or maybe that's not
There's
even.
kind of Joan of Arc vibes
Yeah,
there.
yeah. But in the story, when you see her, she is 8.5 feet tall, but she walks with a cane and she's got like all these like really homemade like supports on her legs. So she is a giant, but it's almost like it's so big that she can't support herself type of thing. Which I've seen a lot in when it comes to like giant stories and D&D stuff.
However,
like that. Yeah.
that is in the modern world, the real world.
Right. So like we said, she's a 8.5 feet tall teenager, and she's a descendant of cannibalistic giants that were outcast from heaven. So this whole area that they live in is kind of weird to begin with. It's almost like a cultish type of thing going on, and it's like they worship these giants, and you can tell that these people are the descendants of these giants, but only she seems to be
Giants
like the
and
giant
angels
signs and stuff. Yeah, so
Yeah.
very, very strange.
See, and I couldn't tell if they were just trying to explain it to her that way. I couldn't tell if that was actual legend or if it was true.
I don't think, well, it's both are out there, and I don't think you know
Mm-hmm.
until you read more in that. But it looks like it's probably parts of both.
Yeah.
Yeah. It also looks like the legends are trying to just live in everyday life, just in normal, hide in plain sight type of thing. But it's kind of hard to hide a 8.5 foot teenager. So.
Yeah.
But it's a good book, very dark, cool art, kind of almost like not quite Magnolia style, but a little bit more detailed than that. But
the coloring is very Magnolia, though. The darker, not darker colors, but gloomy.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it for this one?
Yeah.
I don't have too much more to say about it.
Yeah, that's what it is. You have to read more to see more, but that's the premises of it. Yeah.
Cool.
It almost has a feel like if anyone's ever watched the X-Files, where the episode with the Peacock family, like these people that live on the farm, they're all isolated and stuff like that. They're almost like their own little community for this family. So that's kind of type of, but not as creepy. Well, not as creepy yet, but pretty creepy.
Children of the Corn,
yeah.
Hills Have Eyes type people.
Yeah, people who isolate themselves and end up becoming weird from it.
Anyway, this next book, and I think quite a few people were looking forward to it, and I will put the thing up there, see if anyone can guess what it is first.
This next book is my other favorite book of the week.
That's what I was going to say.
But I was still a tiny little bit disappointed.
Yeah, and that's Tales of Mother F. Goose.
Do you have the other cover as well, by chance?
I don't, but it's upstairs somewhere if you want me to grab it.
It's right over there. I'll go grab it. You can start off talking about
it. Well, I didn't read what the synopsis for this book was going to be, because Aftershock, we almost cover all Aftershock books. They're all pretty good. I always unintentionally make the pun that I was shocked at how much I liked it.
Actually, I find every Aftershock book awesome.
Yeah. And given the cover of this and the B cover, which I think is a 1 in 5?
1 in 10? Yeah.
So it's a 1 in 5. So
Pulp
Fiction and Scarface.
And the reason there's a Pulp Fiction homage here is because this book is basically
hold on.
Mother Goose. No, but just want to say it's what the synopsis is it's Mother Goose characters in a Tarantino movie style. So,
right.
And this is what it even says here in the back, and then we can do it because it's like the 3 little pigs are gluttonous casino owners. Little Miss Muffet is a hard-nosed cop with arachnophobia. The 3 blind mice are ocularly impaired assassins. That's eyeballs, in case you don't know that.
No, yeah.
and for Toady, I saw Toady up there. He's trying to be a dick to me. So, Puss in Boots is a feline-faced scumbag. So it's Welcome to Mother F. Goose, where your favorite fairy tales are turned into twisted characters right out of a Tarantino movie. So they purposely even say that in the book, in the synopsis.
So you would imagine that this book would be all, and this is one I was looking forward to, even though I don't like it, is anthropomorphic characters.
Right.
Because I think a grittier look would be interesting. Like that Animal Castle, I did enjoy.
Right.
So you figured everyone's going to be duck people or whatever, right?
Well,
They're animals.
yeah, and it's especially from that synopsis too. It still says that.
However, they're not. They're people, and their characteristics. It's almost like nicknames. That's what their mob names is. People call them the Three Little Pigs, or I'm Boots, and he's like
And
Puss in Boots, but
right,
he's a hitman.
and right, and with the casino guys, like it says, there are three casino guys. They are pigs. They're gluttonous and slob and horrible ass pigs, guy.
Mm-hmm.
And they each have a casino. Each casino is like represents, the wood house, the brick house, and the whatever the
the
third
bricks
house.
are gold bricks.
Yeah.
And
So I mean, there is that stuff in there, and again, so you got Little Bo Peep, or Little Miss Muffet. She's a detective, and she has like a spider tattoo on her arm because apparently she's scared of spiders because she was attacked by a serial killer named the Spider and stuff. So I mean, there is stuff in there. Puss in Boots is a guy who is like a mob enforcer, but he has like a little bit of feline look to it.
he's got little
whiskers and
things.
stuff. So I mean,
it's not bad. It's still good, but I feel like they really had something with that, and maybe they're like myself, where they thought maybe anthropomorphizing these characters wouldn't be beneficial.
I thought it would have been really cool, and this is just a one shot, so they're obviously going to grow off it. So this, in the end, and to me, ends up being, and when I never read any of them, but ends up being more like that Fable stuff or that Xenoscope stuff.
Oh,
like it's like Little Red Riding Hood, and it's just like Little Red Riding. No,
the one time we go to mention it and we can't remember the name. Grimm Fairy Tale.
Yeah,
like that?
Yeah, Grimm's Fairy Tales. It's like that. But not as nudie. Like this is very, very, very graphic. It is Tarantino style, so I mean, don't get it wrong. But don't go in there thinking it's about animals, because it's not.
Yeah. So
it's a one shot, Tony. But I think it's going to be. I think it will definitely lead off into a series.
Lots of Aftershock stuff these last few months have been these oversized.
Yes, they're all treasury size, which I used to hate, and I don't mind. The only thing I hate is, and it's not because you can't get bags and boards.
Not even magazine size fit.
Yeah, and it's not because the whole supply shortage as well.
So yeah, still a good book.
Yeah, but not what you think if you're going in. If you're thinking it's going to be like that, if you're going to see Scarface as a duck, or if you're going to see Mother F. Goose there looking like the girl from Pulp Fiction, it's not going to happen. And F stands for I swear.
Oh, really?
Mother F and Goose.
Oh, I don't know that swear.
Frick. I saw that. It was someone told me that when they watch that, you hear that word a lot when you watch that porn Hoobie.
Terrence would know.
Yeah,
I have to get Terrence's input on that one. Next book is from Vault, and it's Lunar Room, and this is one that I think was pushed back quite a bit.
A couple times.
We've had it on our list a few times, and it didn't come.
Yeah.
This one was almost my book of the week, because even reading this one, I felt very lost a lot of the time, and the story, it seems like there's two stories happening, and they sort of are coming together at the end, but I don't know. I went back and I even reread pages, and I didn't quite understand it, but really solid artwork, and that's what had pushed it through. Most stuff, if it's not good artwork, I can't even try.
I didn't have that much of a hard time following it, but it is great artwork. You got Gio Spacio doing the artwork, and you have Danny Lore doing the story. And I like the story in here. I didn't have as much of a hard time following it. I'm not sure why. So what this is you got Cynthia, and she goes by Sin a lot of the time. And she used to be a werewolf. Plain and simple.
Well, it is.
Well, no, it used to be a werewolf, is a werewolf, but she can't transform and stuff anymore. And stuff, I can't say that.
No,
she can't, and stuff like that. So yeah,
everyone take a drink.
Yeah, we don't know why she can't transform anymore, but she's like way underpowered. She's not what she used to be. And she used to be not only just a werewolf, but she used to be a powerful figure on the streets and stuff like that too. She's no longer this, and she doesn't have the respect and pull that she once has, and now she's dealing with this. I kind of left it like that there because there is more stuff there, and it just kind of like, so there's a little bit of flashbacking about what happened and that, and then what happens now is she has met somebody who is a mage, a magic guy, and somehow he has I don't know if it's a piece of bone or a piece of knife or a fang or something like that, but he has that, and he cuts her with it, and all of a sudden she has like not her original werewolf powers back, but she has some kind of power back that is very similar to her werewolf powers.
Yeah.
So it kind of ends there, and he wants her to.
So that's kind of the gist I got from it too.
Yeah, he wants her to help her somehow in that, and we don't really know why yet, but he kind of lied about his intentions at first, but I don't know, it's a little weird sounding at first, but it is a book on modern. It takes place in modern times. Like I said, she was powerful and very well respected in the streets, being a werewolf, and kind of
as far as vault books go, I'm still waiting on the next volume, next mini series of Barbaric.
Yeah, it's anything that you try nowadays, and we heard it a couple of times in our interview with JM the other night. You got to give books a chance.
Yeah,
at least 2 to 3 issues, because if it was done in one issue, then it would be a one issue. It wouldn't be so. Yeah. You can't look at something as a part of it. You have to look at it as a whole, or at least a good 2 or 3 issues into it. I'll look at more of it because I like Vault, and I didn't have the issues reading it that you did.
Yeah. Next up from Image Comics is it
Nita?
Nita. I always go to say Nikita.
I always think it's Neela, but it's Nita Ha's Nightmare Blog.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like a spin-off from Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Well, it is a spin-off.
It is a spin-off from Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I'm not as huge a fan as this series as you are.
I like it.
I still, after reading this, don't remember the first issue, and I know we covered it. I do not remember
the first issue is just like this issue.
To be honest, I don't even remember this issue, and I read it.
you got Rodney Barnes doing the writing and Jason Sean Alexander doing the art, and the art's awesome in here. The covers for all this Nightmare Blog so far, and for all the Philadelphia covers, and I think there's about 14, maybe higher, maybe 15, 16, 17 issues of Philadelphia now, and they're all always amazing.
They're on 16 or 17.
Oh, I think he made 19.
Okay, yeah.
But
it has it at the end of that book. I think it's 16 or 17 or 18, something like that.
Yeah, and they're always amazing covers, and this one's no different. And this one is about a black singer in the 50s and that, kind of like a jazzy Chuck Berry. Yeah, Chuck Berry type grassroots stuff. And it's Nina gets dragged into this because someone requests on her blog to come check this out. She gets a request. She goes to see this person who did the request, saying about a possessed person, and she shows up there. And just by coincidence, her showing up there, a murder has happened that night. The guy who is the musician is catatonic and has been for years, is in a bed, and the nurse in the room, because it's like an old folks home, has had his head decapitated, cut clear off, it's super gory, and there's tons of blood all over, and there's actually been a giant horse, like a man horse or horseman painting on the wall. So she's investigating that.
Wasn't the horseman called Mr. Ed?
Or was that Bojangle? Not Bojangle.
Yeah, Bo Jackman.
Yeah. So she's investigating that. It looks like this has something to do with the occult. There's no way the old man can do it because he's been catatonic, but they think that maybe with him being catatonic that he maybe made a deal with a demon or something to get revenge. Because that's what happens in this book. Somebody dies at the end of this book that kind of screwed over the musician earlier in life and that. So it is kind of neat. If you like horror and stuff like that, this is still a pretty awesome book.
I liked the pictures.
Yeah, it's got good art. It's got dark, creepy art. Nothing super detailed. But yeah, it's kind of like just like Philadelphia, and I like this one too. Nita Hawes does this Nightmare Blog because of her brother was killed, and he's there as a ghost now and kind of helps her out. It was her way of getting over his death.
Okay.
Kind of like X-Files.
Our next book is one from a really small publisher. I don't think I've even heard of it before.
Well, but we have heard of it because we've covered a couple of books from there.
Oh, that's right. You did mention
that He-Man or Stud Boy. No, Stud. in the
I don't.
blood blade.
I still don't remember it.
Say it's
Doesn't matter.
yeah.
This is one of my top books of the week.
Oh, really?
I think so.
But it's mostly black and white, so I didn't think you'd like that.
But I liked the art. It was still really solid art,
and
it reminded me of The Great Escape
Right.
in a space prison.
Right, but it's still on Earth, I think.
Well, yeah, but it's aliens and stuff.
And it's in a winter like well, it's like
Russia.
Russia or something. Yeah, it is in Russia, I think.
Yeah.
And it's like Siberia type of thing. So the black and white there kind of works because it's all just like desolate in winter and that, and it's
And this is another book that was supposed to come out quite a while ago.
Yeah.
Again, back Halloween week after or so.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's. That's what I do a lot. Is I go well, my brain processes. I enjoyed this one just for, like I said, it's like The Great Escape.
Yeah.
And you get some flashbacks to when this guy is going through his training, I guess, right? Or when he's first joined. Is it flashbacks or is it someone else?
No, it's going on at the same time. Like what it is you see these people in a POW camp, and on the cover there is these aliens, and I think they kind of look like jackals or dog face things, and they're really big and strong, and they came to Earth and just overtook mankind pretty fast. And so they have everybody in these POW camps, and they're just there, and they don't really say what they have, why they did it, like why they invaded Earth or why they have these people there. Seems like they're going to be doing like experiments on them, or maybe they're like food source or something. It feels like they're more like using them there as like being stored. And it's by Gannon Beck and Bay and Richmond, and they do work on it together. And it's the Space Corps shows up and liberates them after a little while, and a couple people who are in the camp while the fighting's going on, they take out a couple of these space aliens, and they want to join the Space Corps. One guy actually is a former Marine, and he was, while he was in the camp, was always trying to get them to like fight and stuff. And the other guy is a young guy, 17, and he was always not a coward per se, but he was always like, his parents always told him to like, be quiet and don't be docile and you won't get hurt and stuff. And he finally kind of like fights back, and the Marine guy's always been egging him on to like, be a hero and help me fight out and stuff. So his parents don't want him to join. He finally lets him join, and they're gonna take off. They're gonna leave the planet now, and he's gonna go do some Space Corps training and become one of the Intergalactic Space Corps, and again just be like a giant, basically a space navy, which is what they are. It's the Navy and Intergalactic, so Navy SEALs type. So it was very much like The Great Escape, and good artwork, and I enjoyed the like I said, it's mostly in black and white and grays. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it reminded me of like early Turtles art. How it was sort of that.
Yeah. Or even modern Turtles art.
It's all color though.
Oh yeah, I'm talking. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, not just the sketching and not the coloring. It's good though, but it'll be hard. A lot of people will be hard to find that one. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that'll be a tough one for sure.
Yeah.
Next, and I know everyone has heard about George Perez this week.
Is that all the books?
Oh yeah. We went through all of them. I just did a double check.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I know we're getting good for timing. Oh, that was loud. Don't do that. Sorry. Yeah, we've all heard about George Perez this week, making his press announcement that he won't be with us a whole lot longer. Right. But he seems like he's in good spirits about it, and everyone's heard every angle of it. So we're not going to talk about that today. However, in other pop culture news, there was actually someone who passed away, and that is one of the original architects from Nintendo, who made Nintendo and the Super Nintendo. And I think it was just today, or just...
it was yesterday.
Was it yesterday? Yeah.
Yeah.
So they actually just passed. And I saw this picture here, and I really like that one. I like that one better than the one they've been using, because it shows them designing it.
Yeah.
So, as unfortunate as it is, it does seem like we're losing a lot of these more icons, I guess. And this one's a gaming icon. And I don't think we've really lost a whole lot of people like super influential, like something like that. So I figured it's something that we should probably cover, just because all of us have played this guy's console. Everyone.
Most of us, well, especially people my age group, grew up on that, on the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo and that. So, yeah, very, very. Sorry, I keep kicking it. Very, very relevant, especially the pop culture and to all of us, kids growing up in that. So, him passing away and George Perez, announcing his, final few months with us and that, and he's been sick for a long time and that. So, he's had time to, I guess, come to terms with it. So. It's just sad, because like I said to you, and it's just like, I mean, I'm not super old. I'm 46 and that.
You're pretty old. You'll be 50 soon.
Well, everybody's 50 soon. But it's just like all these people that, shaped and, changed the world and, definitely changed how we were as kids and shaped how we did stuff every day is kind of passing away. So, I mean, it's just, normal. We all get old and stuff. It's just very strange. Very strange.
I think you're starting to feel old.
I
saw the ghost of your past in your eyes there.
Well, not that to get cold, but I mean, it's just like with everything going on the last few years and stuff. There's just so much. I don't want to say sadness, but it's just so much non-positive stuff lately. So,
yeah, but we try to keep things on a more positive spin here because that's like you said. There's a whole lot of not so positive stuff, and we like to keep things positive.
Yeah.
Not only on the show, but in our lives here too.
Yeah. Try to focus on the good things. Here's a good thing.
Yeah.
Hawkeye show.
You won't be 50 till you look 50. That's true. I'm lucky that people say I look pretty young, but
yeah.
I mean I'm gonna look like this until I'm at least mid-30s. So
cool. Yeah, if I take off my beard, I'd be a big difference too.
But yeah, next up is Hawkeye. Episode 4 was this week. And not as exciting, not as action-packed of an episode as the prior week. But I like this one. And I like episodes where they do a bit more character focus. And
it's a good balance between
it
week
is.
to week.
And it's something that you get in these shows that you don't get in the movies. And it's definitely something you get in the comics and miniseries.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed this episode to see the growth and the connection. Because I believe this episode is called Partners, hey? Or something like that. And
something like that. Yeah.
You see in the beginning that they're being questioned by Kate Bishop's mom and whatever his name is, a Swordmaster.
Jack.
Yeah. And they're kind of not button heads, but she's like, "Oh yeah, we're best partners in this and that." And Hawkeye is sort of just like, "We're not partners. We're not friends. I don't know her. She definitely doesn't play it cool around me." And then throughout the middle of the episode is just this, he's kind of training her, but they're just like engaging together and, bonding really. And it's really good.
Yeah, I liked it.
There's some moments that you've gotten in the Loki show that have been like this, and something more akin to Falcon and Winter Soldier when they're rebuilding the boat. Like you just get these really good character bonding moments. And I really enjoyed that about this episode.
Yeah, I like it. I like it has it's Christmas and it's Christmas time right now, so that's nice too.
Yeah,
because I haven't really watched or had a chance to really celebrate much like Christmas stuff really yet.
I know we haven't decorated or anything. We're too busy.
We got a couple things up, but not much. Yeah. So that's nice. This is
we got a pair of Russian nesting dolls. That's it.
And we got stocking.
Oh yeah. My stocking.
Yeah. And yeah, so it's nice. This is so far been our Christmas, our Christmas connection so far.
Yeah, well, I don't know if people have noticed tonight. I've got my ugly Christmas sweater, Spiderman. I have another one in the mail. Hopefully, it's here before Christmas. And like you had mentioned before, we're going to be doing like a Christmassy end of year wrap up.
Yeah.
So much like we did for Halloween, where we got you guys to submit some Halloween covers that you like, send us some holiday, Christmas. I think there's even some Hanukkah covers out there, stuff like that. New Year's even. Send those, and we'll get them put up here. I think we might do a top 5, top 10 thing, just like we did with movies.
If they want to, they can send stuff every day, and we can post the holiday stuff, like pictures and stuff. What I was gonna suggest, what I was
Tony's getting you pretty good today.
Yeah. I what I was gonna suggest is that what I want to do on the review show, and that is have like what we thought were the best books of the year. Best. I'm gonna have like it could be either best single episodes or sorry episodes. I'm doing like It could be best single issues, or we can have best covers, or just best books overall. Yeah. So you can put down whatever you want. I think this is the best cover of the year. This is the best story all year. I think this is the best title all year. Whatever you want.
Mm-hmm. And our final thing that we've got for tonight, or that I've got here anyway, is the new Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse trailer. And we all saw that, and I've got a couple stills from it there. Well, one still. And this is something that you didn't even notice when you watched it the first time, and I don't know how, is it's part 1. And part 2 comes out the following year.
Yeah, I still haven't seen that anywhere.
Yeah, so right on that one, it says part 1. And, oh yeah, that's cool enough and everything. And everyone's freaking out because Spider-Man 2099 is in it. And we all knew this. I didn't think it was a shock. We've got, I don't know how many copies of 2099 #1 around here. And
you'll see.
He was in a post-credit.
You'll see that the show's not over yet, Eden.
Yeah.
You'll see that...
She watches sometimes.
The Lords of the Long Box and Mikey Sutton and those guys say it all the time. For collectors, until they see like a trailer drop or
but he was in a post-credit.
I know. Until they see like
Oscar Isaac was cast and everything.
Same thing with like when they had leaked pictures of Ms. Marvel in her costume and stuff. And sometimes they just have to see like the trailer or the real thing of it. Yeah, because they've been saying for a long time now. I've been saying for how long Spidey 29's been coming. So.
Yeah,
The only thing that surprised me about same thing with Spider-Man India. That we've been saying that for how long? 6 months to a year.
And they've fully come out and said that they were told they could use any Spider-Man ever.
Yeah.
So they could have Spider Clan, like the Mangaverse one, Spider Punk, Spider
yes, it is,
UK.
Tony. This is the sequel to that one, Into the Spider-Verse.
And yeah, Spider-Man India, and I don't
Spider
necessarily know.
Punk.
I said Spider-Punk.
Oh, did you? Sorry,
I don't know that these characters necessarily have big roles. There's even rumors of the Japanese Spider-Man.
Oh yeah,
that everyone call
Sapuda-man.
Yeah,
that's
Subayada-man or something.
And
which is just a Japanese.
He's in there for sure too. He's in for there for sure too.
Now, do we know if they're going to be big characters? Do we know if they're going to be sort of cameo roles, just like Spider-Verse comic series?
I can guarantee you that Spider-Man India will be a huge character in there because.
Well, and in the trailer, there's bits, and I noticed it. There's signs, and when they shoot the web, it just says "thwip."
That's in Hindi,
and it is, and it still says "thwip" translated, and it's even like attention to detail like that. Yeah, it'll be good. It's a short little trailer, right? It's sort of an official, here's what we've got going on. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw this pop up either before Spider-Man No Way Home next week or as a post-credit like the original Into the Spider-Verse was a post-credit scene.
Is that next week?
That's Thursday.
Next week is Spider-Man movie?
Get your tickets, folks, if you haven't already.
Do you think there'll be a bigger preview for this at the beginning? No. Do you think there'll be any previews at that Spider-Man movie?
We might get Morbius. I don't know what else is coming. No, Morbius looks good. They released a clip just the other day. That's something we could have talked about, and the clip actually looks pretty good.
I know, but I don't want to see it. I want to see something.
Oh, I know one thing that we could talk about.
What's that?
And I don't know if you've seen. So we know the villains of the new Spider-Man movie, right? Older characters that were already there.
Which, like the Spider-Man or Spider-Verse?
Spider-Man.
Okay.
The new No Way Home.
Yeah, they showed a clip with William Dafoe as Green Goblin.
Yeah. So, and we know Doc Ock, all that, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
What we didn't know, and it's a bit of a new, and it was originally rumored, and a lot of people were stocking up on it, was Kraven the Hunter was originally the villain for that movie. Zendaya and Tom Holland have talked about it in interviews. And when that didn't happen, I'm thinking that's when they said, well, we're going to do a Craven movie on our own.
No, it's because Sony wants to do it.
No,
Oh.
that they was in the original script and everything. And
No, Sony wants to do the Craven movie.
yes, but Craven was going to be the villain of this movie.
Should have been.
But they went this way instead. It was going to be a Craven's Last Hunt sort of.
I still think they should do that.
Yeah, and well, that's what his movie is going to sort of be. But yeah, so I thought that was interesting that they actually came out and said it. And I thought maybe it made a bit of sense if they were going that way, because in WandaVision, when Quicksilver came back, it was the X-Men version and not the MCU version.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, since he is cast as Craven, maybe he was the Craven the whole time. And they figured, well, if he's going to be Craven, we don't want people associating him as Quicksilver anymore. And they made that switch there. Which, I mean, hey, that could have been just a convenient coincidence. Or it could have been that that's how it turned out, and it just happens he's getting his own movie now.
I don't know.
That's
I don't even have the energy to think about that. There's a billion other things I could worry about before that. So
yeah, but it was a thought. Anything else?
Yeah, like I said, anybody just said for the next little while, like it is gonna have a end of the year review thing. It's gonna be kind of funny. I got little ideas in our head already. We're gonna sit around. It's gonna be pre-recorded. I'll tell you that now. It's not gonna be live. It will be, because we'll have to, because there'll be a lot of editing. So get ready.
We'll see.
And then
I don't have the old video clips. I can't do it.
And that'll be cool too. And yeah, I didn't realize Spider-Man's next week. So we're gonna see Spider-Man earlier in the day next week. We're gonna see it like 3 o'clock, I believe. So we will mention it in the show next Thursday, but we will not do any spoilers at all. So don't anybody worry.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's what I pulled this out earlier. Because now these characters are coming back to the theater after 20 years.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's in a. Oh, you framed it. Here. When the movie came out originally, Spider-Man 1, I think the night we were seeing it, I drew that. The night before, or opening night at school while I was not doing work. So that's 20 years. I thought that was pretty cool. I just happened to dig it up while we were moving stuff around down here.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
So I am taking commissions. I am doing signings. I'll make prints for anyone that wants prints.
Well, that's something we can mention.
What?
So with both our interviews with this week with Brian and with JM, we asked them, and they were nice enough to say yes, that we have sent down them copies of each of their books to sign.
Chicken Devil and Swamp Dogs, respectively.
Yeah. So when we get those back, we will do something with that. I don't know what. Obviously, we're going to keep an autographed copy for ourselves or two for memory's sake and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But there's enough there that we can probably maybe have a draw, or I'm not sure what we'll do. Maybe might even sell them. I don't even know yet. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know.
But let's see. So that'd be kind of cool to get, but that won't be to the new year. And speaking of the new year, we're going to try and keep doing more and more in the new year. We're going to try and get more books of our own out there. We're going to sell more, obviously, books with Justin and that too. And
well, I'm fully registered for school. All that stuff, it's going to be tight. So there might be some shorter episodes some weeks, depending.
Sure. We're going to do some traveling next year too. We're going to be on the convention circuit.
But this is all stuff we can talk about in our year-end video.
Yeah.
So we'll do an actual date, a whole event, well in advance, so everyone knows about that. Because I think that'll be, if not in addition to our regular weekly episodes, then I think we could probably do it on its own, make it its own night.
Yeah, we always have these episodes, and lately we've been throwing in an extra video here and there because we've done some extra content and that, and we'll keep doing that. You guys like it, so.
Yeah, so until next week, hopefully you guys can all see Spider-Man, and some of us can maybe chat about it in a spoiler zone tomorrow or next week.
Yeah, well,
if not, we'll wait a few weeks. We'll probably
Yeah.
wait even till the new year.
I would say we're not going to do any spoilers about Spider-Man until at least after Christmas.
Yep.
One thing I would also like to say, because we never say enough, is please, everybody, subscribe, share, click on that button, spread us around as much as you can. We want to try to
That's
build.
what she said.
I know. We want to build up more on Facebook and YouTube and that. So please do your part, because we love you guys. Tell your mama.
Yeah, that's the new catchphrase.
That's my
right?
catchphrase now. Tell your mama.
We'll see everyone next week.
Peace out.